Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Martina. In today's video I'm going to be giving you guys 6 things you should never do when in China. So we're all foreigners in China and we've come from different countries in the world with different cultures, different upbringings, different rules. Coming to China is always very different for a lot of foreigners. It's like you're coming into a new world and the rules here are quite different. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and share this video. Without wasting any time, let's get into the things to never do. So the first thing is, do not talk about politics. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, keep your political views to yourself, you know. Keep it to yourself. Whatever you think, whatever you think is right, just keep it to yourself. Go about your normal life. Don't involve yourself in political topics.
So talking about China's politics, whether China is better than whatever country, whatever ideas you have about politics, do not discuss it. Like, do not discuss this in public places. Do not discuss this on your Chinese social media platforms. And even when you're making phone calls, my mouth is frozen, I can hardly speak. Even when you're making phone calls, do not discuss this on your phone calls while in China. So politics, religious agendas, whatever
Belief you might have.
belief, yes, do not discuss it.
Practice it in private.
Yes.
Don't just come out in public and start your preaching or whatsoever. You get yourself in trouble faster than you can ever imagine.
Yes, so this is something that you should not do when you're in this country. As foreigners, you know, we are coming from democratic, a lot of us are coming from democratic countries, but China is a communist country and the rules here are quite different. So sometimes you have your political ideas, you have your opinions about China, maybe some things you don't like about the country or how the country is being run, and you have some issues with it. These are not things that you can openly discuss here in China. You can't just go to a Chinese person and start telling them about how you feel about their government or things that are against their government. You can't have these discussions in public because you do not know who may be listening to you. You can't have these discussions on your Chinese social media apps like WeChat. You should not even have these discussions on a phone call if you're in China. Number 2, do not protest in China. You may have your ideas, you may have what you think is right or wrong, but in China you keep your opinions to yourself. And if you need to speak to someone, you can just go and speak to someone of authority individually. You can't just take out a card and say, oh, I'm going to protest, or I'm not being treated well and I need to let people know this is how we do it in my country. That may be how you do it in your country, but in China it is different. Do not go out to protest. It is illegal. Although, of course, for Chinese people, if they want to protest about certain things, they have to go through the right procedures and channels and apply, and they can get all those done. But as a foreigner, do not protest. If you have your religious beliefs or your religious ideas, these are, you can't just like go on the street and say, oh, I want to preach, or I want to do missionary on the streets, or start going to random Chinese people to, you know, preach. Things like that are illegal here in China and it can get you in trouble. If you have any religious like ideas or, you know, discussions or very dramatic gatherings, religious gatherings, and you're having these discussions on Chinese social media apps, this can get you in trouble. This can alert the police and they can come find you. Things like this are very illegal in China. So even if you want to have your religious discussions or gatherings or church, you can do that, you know, privately, but you can't just make it so loud because China is a communist country and they have their rules. Number 3, another thing you can't do in China is tipping. Do not tip Chinese people. So even if you're being offered very good services, Do not tip money.
A thank you is enough for them. Just say share.
And that is enough. Their salary is large enough to cover whatever tip. If you decide to leave a tip, most likely it will be stolen because there nobody is going to take your tip. Number 4, do not fight or cause any public disturbance here in China. So if you get into trouble, make sure you do not cause a scene, do not start up a fight, because usually if there's any disturbance in China, people gather around. So imagine if there's a fight, people will gather around, Chinese people will gather around to watch. Someone will call the police, people will start recording with their phones, and this can get you in serious trouble. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to do this and I'll run away. Most likely you'll be recorded. There are CCTV cameras everywhere, and Chinese people are CCTV cameras on their own. Any little noise, Chinese people will gather around. Even just seeing a foreigner can make them gather around to come out to see. Even when it's their own people, maybe their own people making noise or doing something that is not regular, Chinese people gather around and they start filming. So do not get in trouble, do not fight, do not get into any form of public disturbance in China. That can get you in trouble. You can be arrested. So avoid that. If a Chinese person ever offends you, the most you can do is go report them to someone of authority, but do not start up a fight. Do not take matters into your own hand. Number 5, if you ever get into an accident in China, do not get up and leave. So maybe you're walking on the road and the car hits you and the bike hits you. Do not get up and leave. In China, there are strict rules and procedures on how to handle accidents. The traffic police are already trained on how to handle things like that. And usually the police are supposed to come, assess the situation, see who is at fault, see if you're injured, and if you need to go to the hospital, one month is supposed to be paid. If you caused the accident, if you're going to pay the other party, they are going to access everything. Maybe if you're riding a bike and you caused the accident, you should not just get up and run or get up and leave the scene, and maybe you think, oh, I'm not hurt, I should just go. Do not do that. Like I said before, Chinese people will gather around and they will start filming. Usually when an accident happens, someone calls the police and the police will come and access everything, and then it will be handled justly and fairly. If you run or you move, then the police won't really be able to access the accident scene because it has been tampered with. Maybe if you're riding a bike and it falls down, usually they are going to measure the direction in which it fell to know who hit who, and if you are going fast, it will have gone into the other lane or things like that. But if you move, it's going to be a problem. You may not be at fault, and then you end up being at fault because you moved and you tampered with the accident scene. So do not move. You can't say you want to do hit and run, you hit someone and you decide to run. You will be caught. There are CCTV cameras everywhere. You will be caught. So please, if you're ever in an accident in China, do not leave. No matter if you're in a rush, do not leave. If you're driving a car, ensure you have your driver's license, because then you're going to be in a lot of trouble if they find out you do not have a license for a car or a petrol bike. The final thing that you should not do in China, if you're coming here for the first time, make sure you register with the police. You can't just say, oh, I have relatives here, and you fly into China for the first time and you just go straight to stay with your family or whosoever you know here. No, you're going to get in serious trouble. If you come into China and you lodge into a hotel within the first 24 hours, the hotel is going to, register you and handle all that for you. But if not, you have to go to the nearest police station and register and let them know that you have come into China. This can get you in trouble if you do not register after the first 24 hours in China. So these are the 6 tips I have for you guys. These are things that you should never do in this country, things that will put you in trouble. Of course, there are so many other things. I'm sure you guys already know there are some laws that are common to every country, like let's say do not extend your visa, don't do drugs, don't move without a license. Some things are very common in some of these rules are same in every other country, but these particular rules are special to China, and things that you will be able to do in other countries and get away with it, but in China you may not be able to do that. I hope this video helps make your stay in China a better one, helps you experience China to the fullest. I'm glad I could make this video for you guys. Today is the 2nd of January, so Happy New Year to you guys. Happy New Year to everyone, to all my subscribers, to everyone watching this video. This is 2020. I'm glad we could all see this year. There are going to be more videos coming from me this year, and I hope you guys will be here to see it till the end. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.